Imagine you are a pirate in the year 1640. You have just finished a successful raid in the North Sea. Your hull is heavy with Dutch spices and silver. You look to the horizon and see a silhouette. It is not a lumbering man-o'-war. It is small, it is impossibly fast, and it is leaning into the wind with a grace you have never seen before. It is a yacht, and within 30 minutes, it will be the last thing you ever see. Back then, a yacht was not a place to drink champagne. It was a weapon. It was a hunter. But how did a lethal naval scout evolve into the Azam, a 590-foot floating city owned by royalty? How did a tool of war become the ultimate symbol of peace, privacy, and profound, unadulterated wealth? This is the history of the yacht, the story of how humanity learned to conquer the oceans, not for survival, but for the sheer, expensive thrill of it. Chapter 1: The Dutch Hunter and the English King. The word yacht comes from the Middle Low German word Yacht, short for Jagdschip, which literally means hunting ship. In the 14th century, the Dutch Republic was the center of the maritime world. They needed something to chase down smugglers and pirates in the shallow, treacherous waters of the Low Countries. These original yachts were light, fast, and nimble, the supercars of the 1700s. But the transition from workboat to playboat happened because of a very specific historical accident. In 1660, the English monarchy was restored. King Charles II, who had been living in exile in the Netherlands, was heading home to take his throne. The Dutch, savvy diplomats as always, knew the king had developed a taste for their fast little boats. So they gave him a gift, a 52-foot vessel named the Mary. Charles did not use the Mary to hunt pirates. He used it to race his brother, the Duke of York, on the River Thames. This was the Big Bang of yachting. Suddenly, if you were an aristocrat and you wanted to impress the king, you did not just need a carriage, you needed a yacht. By the time Charles II died, he had commissioned 28 different yachts. The hunter had officially become a hobby. Chapter 2: The Royal Sport and the Squadron. For the next century, yachting was an exclusively royal pursuit. It was the sport of kings. In 1850, a group of gentlemen met at the Prince of Wales in London to form the Yacht Club, which later became the Royal Yacht Squadron. If you want to understand the exclusivity of yachting, look no further than the squadron. Membership was not about money, it was about pedigree. Even today, they are the only club allowed to fly the white ensign of the Royal Navy. But while the British were focusing on tradition and racing, a new power was rising across the Atlantic. In 1851, a radical-looking schooner named America sailed to England to challenge the best the British had to offer. The story goes that Queen Victoria watched the America cross the finish line first and asked her attendant, "Which is second?" The reply has become maritime legend, "Ma'am, there is no second." This victory birthed the America's Cup and signaled a shift. Yachting was no longer just about royal leisure, it was about national pride and engineering dominance. Chapter 3: The Gilded Age and the Smoke of Progress. Then came the Industrial Revolution. Suddenly, the world had a new kind of royalty, the American tycoon. Men like J.P. Morgan, Cornelius Vanderbilt, and Jay Gould did not have titles, but they had more money than most European nations. And they hated the wind. Wind was unpredictable. Wind was slow. These men built their empires on coal and steam, and they wanted their yachts to reflect that power. This era gave us the steam yacht. These were massive, black-hulled monsters with tall funnels, looking like ocean liners that had been shrunk down for private use. J.P. Morgan's Corsair series is perhaps the most famous. When a reporter famously asked Morgan how much it cost to maintain such a vessel, he gave the ultimate response: "If you have to ask the price, you can't afford it." One of the most significant vessels of this era was the El Marusa, built in 1865 for the Khedive of Egypt. It was a floating palace of marble and gold, and remarkably, it is still in service today as the Egyptian presidential yacht, making it the oldest active yacht in the world. Chapter 4: The Diesel Revolution and the Social Weapon. After World War I, steam gave way to diesel. Diesel engines were smaller, cleaner, and allowed for much longer ranges. But the Great Depression in World War II nearly killed the industry. When the world emerged from the 1940s, the golden age of the steam yacht was over. The new era was defined by one man and one ship. Aristotle Onassis and the Christina Onassis did not build a new yacht. He bought a surplus Canadian frigate for $34,000 and spent $4 million, an astronomical sum, in 1954 to turn it into the ultimate social weapon. The Christina O changed everything. It featured a swimming pool with a mosaic floor that rose up to become a dance floor. It was not just a boat, it was a stage. Onassis hosted Winston Churchill, Marilyn Monroe, and Grace Kelly. He proved that a yacht was the only place on Earth where the world's most powerful people could be truly private and truly decadent. Chapter 5. The Rise of the Mega-yacht. In the 1980s, the scale changed. We moved from yachts to mega-yachts. This era was ushered in by Adnan Khashoggi's Nabila. Designed by the legendary John Bannenberg, it was 86 meters of futuristic luxury. It was so iconic that it featured in a James Bond film and was eventually bought by Donald Trump. Bannenberg changed the DNA of yachting. Before him, yachts looked like ships. After him, they looked like sculptures. He introduced the idea that a yacht should be a seamless piece of art from the hull to the door handles. The 1990s and 2000s saw the size wars. As the number of billionaires exploded, so did the length of their hulls. We saw the rise of the giga-yacht vessels over 100 meters. Paul Allen's Octopus featured 2 helicopters and a professional recording studio. Roman Abramovich's Eclipse was rumored to have its own missile defense system. And finally, the Azam took the record, stretching to an incredible 180 meters. Chapter 6. The Modern Era and the Future. Today, we are in a new chapter. The Flex is no longer just about size, it is about capability and sustainability. We are seeing the rise of the expedition yacht. Owners do not just want to sit in Saint-Tropez anymore. They want to go to Antarctica. They want ice-breaking hulls, submersibles that can reach the bottom of the ocean, and labs for marine scientists to work on board. Simultaneously, the industry is facing a reckoning with its carbon footprint. The newest yachts, like the Black Pearl or the feed ship Savannah, use hybrid propulsion, massive battery banks, and high-tech sails to move silently through the water. The ultimate luxury in 2026 is no longer just owning the biggest boat, it is owning the smartest one. From a wooden hunter in the Dutch marshes to a $600 million hybrid-powered fortress, the yacht has always been more than a boat. It is a mirror. It reflects our technology, our politics, and our deepest desires for status and escape. As long as there are horizons to reach and fortunes to spend, the history of the yacht will continue to be written in the wake of these incredible vessels. For more deep dives into the world's most incredible vessels, check out the Superyacht Files playlist.